myself, what a wonderful world.
So it is our rainy season too, if you didn't know. Rainy season on Kauai runs from November through February. I've seen times every one of these vertical scars out here is turned into waterfalls at the same time. As far as the size of Kauai, it's very small. It's 33 miles by 25. Under 70,000 people live here. Oahu, that's over 1 million people.
Of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, singing, how do you do? They really say, I love you.
Now from here we're going to see if we can head towards the center of the island. So it's a place called Mount Waialeale. Average rainfall, 460 inches a year. Considered to be the wettest place on Earth. If we can do that, that'll put us inside the volcano, right inside the crater. Don't worry though, the last eruption on Kauai was over 600,000 years ago. Totally different one. It's called Kilohana.
Someday I wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind.
We don't always get back here either. This is definitely one of those places on the island that clouds sometimes go right to the ground.
That's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high.
I'll try to give you an idea where the high peak is here too. This is something we don't normally see. Mount Kwaikini is over 5,100 feet high, almost always covered in clouds. I'll try to give you a pretty good proximity on it. By the way, we're still over the Hanalei River right now. Takes us out of Hanalei Valley. So not the ridge that's approaching closest to us right now. The next ridge up, where that goes into the clouds, that's going to be going up towards the high peak. Get you a better angle here in a moment.
So it almost rains every day here?
Oh yeah. Way up to those clouds to our left, beyond those two waterfalls out there, that's going up towards the high peak. Once we pass through that opening you see up out of us here, it has kind of a V shape. That'll put us directly below the wettest place on Earth. And we'll fly inside the crater. At least another 2,700 feet up above us to the top. As you look around you, welcome to the crater. It's quite a place, isn't it? Sorry, I didn't want to wake you guys up. Get a good idea of how big this area is when you see how small the helicopters look. See how teeny they look?
Is this land protected so you can't build houses here?
Say that again?
Is this part of the land protected so you can't build here?
Yes and no. People do hike up into here. It is protected. They're not going to be any developments, although there is a road that comes all the way up here. It's called Kauai Road. Hiking into the crater has been done many times, totally at your own risk though. It takes about 3.5 hours. But driving to the end of the road down to our left here is totally legal. That's an amazing view. You can hike it if you don't have four-wheel drive. It's a pretty easy hike. It ends just off our left shoulder there by those albizia trees, the flat ones. They look just like acacia trees. You can see them all over the hills here. Fly through a little heavier rain shower here for a few seconds. In fact, these taller trees you see up ahead of us that stick up through the canopy, that's the eucalyptus.
Ia Hawaii e motu, e kanaka Hawaii e. Anu ai me ke aloha nui e Hawaii. Aloha no e kua ne hanau e. Aloha e, aloha e, aloha e. On my own.
Up ahead you can see they're cutting down a bunch of trees. That's because the albizia, the flat ones, are invasive. They're not going to waste that wood though. It goes to a biomass designed to make power from the wood. Up here too is where they do the mountain tubing. It's where they're using irrigation ditches the Chinese built for the sugarcane originally, but now you go down the ditch under an inner tube. Since you go right through the side of the mountains through pitch black tunnels, they give you a headlamp, helmet, whole 9 yards. I'll fly by it so you can see what it looks like. So right before those power lines, there's a river to our right, which is the Wailu River. There's a dam over here that diverts the river into the ditch. If a group's getting ready to launch, should be a bunch of colorful tubes in the water. So if you look straight down to your right, like you're looking at your right shoulder, I believe you'll see them. They're usually blue, yellow, orange. About there. There's a second tunnel down to your left, right there. There's 5 tunnels. It's an hour and 15 minutes on the water. As far as us flying it, we'll do it in about 10 seconds, but we're doing 110 miles an hour. They're doing about 2. See the road down there, or the ditch. The road just beyond it is actually where they pick you up right there. This is old sugarcane land out here. It's become a cattle ranch now. This is the eastern side of the island, just in case you're lost. So far we don't have a dairy ranch on Kauai. Not yet. It's mostly corn you see growing up there. We talked about it earlier, but corn is what's slowly taking over sugarcane on Kauai. A whole bunch of these African tulip trees around here too. They're the trees with the orange blossoms. A couple of them up ahead of us. They're all over the coastlines, the African tulips.
Sometimes I reach to meet the clouds, but I always keep one.
Pretty soon we're coming back into Lihue airspace here, so I'll be coming off the radio in a moment, but definitely want to thank you for coming cruising with me today. Keep on enjoying Kauai. Stick around after we land too if you want to get a photograph of the helicopter. Ground crew will be happy to do that for you. Easy afternoon, huh?